Hey, how you doing? Nice to not see you. I don't see anybody. I'm looking at a camera. You can see me though, I hope. That's good. How you doing? If you're watching in the replay, welcome. Thank you. And do me a favor and just comment or something. Put hashtag replay people or replay whatever you like. And just so that I know later on. If you have a question during the live and you're in the replay, then do me a favor and tag me. If you comment anything other than replay, tag me. This way I'll see it. I'll get notified in the future because I'll look back later to see if there are any comments and stuff. But, you know, if you do this a day or two or three or a week or a year from now, I won't know that you wrote anything. So tag me and I'll know. Jennifer's here. Hi. Hey, you made it. Good. I'm glad. That's great. How are you? If you're here live, do me a favor, like Jennifer did. I see there's a couple of people here live. Do me a favor, just comment so I know that you're here. Let me know if you can hear me, because that's really bad if I'm talking and you can't hear me. I see the thing, so that's good. I'm just going to wait a moment to let one or two people show up if they're coming, and then I will dive in to self-awareness. That's a topic. We're going to do that one today. And I'm first of all, I just want to start, if you're watching in the replay, if you're watching live, this is for everybody. I just want to start this by saying thank you. It's Friday now, and I turned this group on Tuesday, and it has been an amazing, humbling experience just to see the response that I've gotten from everybody. I got a lot of people in the queue before I turned it on, and then we all just showed up at once, and it's been just so much fun. I've been having a blast, and so thank you very much for participating, for commenting, for posting, for liking things. And even if you're just lurking and getting the feel of things, thank you for doing that too, because even what you're doing is helpful. I know that there's a lot of people who just like to read things and watch videos and not comment and stuff, and that's totally fine with me. That doesn't bother me. Do what's comfortable for you. Eric's here. I think I'm here or there. You're here, Eric. Nice to see you. Jennifer, I'm well. Hope you're well. I am. I can hear you. Thank you very much. Okay, there's enough people here. I'm going to just get started now, and we will take it from there. Okay, self-awareness. That is the topic of the day, and for me, that is being aware of the big you, right? So yesterday I was talking about being the meat suit, and I believe that there's more to us than just these physical bodies. You know, this is my arm, this is my hand, these are my thoughts and my eyes and my microphone. But who am I to have an arm or an eye or a thought? You know, who's thinking the thought? It's not the body, and it's something bigger than that. Yesterday I was explaining the way I like to think of it is that each one of us, you, me, everybody here, everybody ever, we are an extension of the entire universe. The entire universe as a living conscious entity that was like, well, I'm everything. And I can't really I can't really feel anything or see anything or do anything because I'm everything. So I'm going to create all these little tiny things within me that can look back on me, and then I can see what I look like. And so I want to see what I look like from Bobby's point of view. And so here I am having that experience and seeing the entire universe from this perspective. And you're doing the same from your perspective. And when you're aware of the fact that you're doing that there's something bigger than you inside of you, that you're the entire universe inside this thing, that's self-awareness, right? And I'm sure you understand this. We call it when you wake up. We're awake now, and we understand these things, that there's something bigger. There's a bigger mission in life. There's a bigger purpose, and that's why we're here, to figure these things out for each one of ourselves and to live it. So I like to say we're becoming the observer. So self-awareness is when you are not only aware of that and awake, but you work on being awake. You work on it. It becomes something that you do and are conscious of all the time. So you don't just wake up once, you're like, oh, I'm awake, and now like life is different. Because you can easily just forget that you're awake and fall back asleep. You have to work on it. It's a muscle. You have to practice it all the time. So I like to call it becoming the observer, where an easy way to understand this is the difference between responding to something that happens and reacting to something that happens. So somebody calls me, somebody says something to me, somebody dings my car or whatever, and immediately I fly off the handle. Oh my God, what are you doing? That's reacting, and that's not really being the universe. That's being little me. That's me trying to figure things out, banging around in this little tiny body, and trying to control things by screaming at them, and that doesn't work. So we forget to be the big you sometimes. And so one way to so I've come up with a couple of ways that we can practice remembering to be self-aware. So by the way, as I'm speaking, if you have comments, thoughts on what I'm saying, please drop them in the comments. At the end of my spiel, I'm going to go to the comments and I'll read them. So if you can, give me a little context as to what you're talking about. Don't just say, I agree, because I won't remember what I said that you agree with. I'll just tell you you're smart for agreeing with me. But if you say, I agree with what you said about this, or something that just gives me a hint of what I was talking about when you wrote it, that'd be great. So Becky's here. Hi, Becky. And I will continue. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about, like a way of remembering to be the observer, to practice this self-awareness. You guys heard of President Eisenhower, right? Dwight Eisenhower was the somethingth president, 30-something president, right, of the U.S. And he had this thing he called the scale of importance. If you've heard of this, bear with me. If you haven't, check this out. It's pretty cool. So people would ask him, like, how do you make decisions? And he ranked decisions and things that he had to do that came across his desk on a scale of importance. And depending on how urgent something was or how important something was. And by his estimation, hardly anything. Things are rarely both urgent and important. Urgent meaning it has to be taken care of right now. Oh my God, the house is on fire. That's urgent and important. So things of that nature would be both, right? But most things aren't of that nature. Most things are either urgent or important, meaning that they're urgent. A client calls or, somebody needs something and it's like, oh my God, I need to do this right now. And you start reacting to it because it just seems important because the timeliness of it is now. I need you to take this phone call now. Well, you can't say I'll do it next week because then it won't be pertinent anymore. Or I need you to pick me up at the airport now. Oh, I can't do it in 5 hours because then you have to sit there for 5 hours. So that's urgent. And usually we react to urgent things and all of a sudden they mess up our day. We may have woken up and had this plan for the day of what we wanted to accomplish, or maybe it was rest, and maybe it was meditation, maybe it was getting all this work done and finally getting to this project that I've always wanted to do. And then so-and-so's like, hey, can you do this thing for me? I need it right away. It's an emergency. And it's like, right? And so we react to that and we forget to be self-aware because now we're switching gears in our heads to take care of this thing for somebody else. Usually urgent things are other people's crap. Keep that in mind too. And I see the comments coming. Thank you very much. And I will read them at the end. And so so things that were urgent and important would be at the top of the scale. Like, Russia's attacking back for him, For us, though, probably the biggest one would be things that are important, but not necessarily urgent. So you have things like my business is important and I need to work on this marketing material all the time, or I need to run this group. Running this group is very important to me. It's not urgent. There are plenty of hours in the day that I don't do anything in the group. I'm sleeping, I'm eating, I'm hanging out with my kids, I'm doing other things, I'm doing work for my clients. So I don't live in the group, but it's important to me. So I show up every day, I do my lives, I do posts here and there, I comment on things. So that's the difference between urgent and important. And then you have things that are urgent but not important. And then finally at the bottom is not urgent and not important. Now, the point of this scale is that we have a tendency to fly off the handle and respond to things in a negative way. We react to things in a negative way. And when we do that, we kind of lose touch with being the observer, and instead we shrink down into this body and we're trying to figure out how to fix this problem now using only the material and the tools and the resources we have as a 3D human instead of using the resources and the material that we have as the universe. So that's one thing, is to just try to remember, like, gee, is this important or is this just urgent? And if you can ask yourself that question, and then at least you're becoming aware of the fact that I'm looking into this. I'm going to respond to this, not react. So just ask yourself, is this important or is it urgent? If it's urgent, you can still do it, but at least now you're doing it, having thought about it and realizing that I'm going to figure out a way to fold this into my day and not let it just screw everything up, because then you go to bed that night thinking, what a crappy day and my life stinks. And it doesn't. We don't want to think that, but we end up doing that. So that's one way. Think about that. Another way is I find the observer in the quiet. So if you think about it, the observer, it's like, well, what I mean by the observer is me watching me. So when I'm aware of what I'm doing, even if I'm flying off the handle sometimes, there's a piece of me in the back of my head going like, man, you're flying off the handle. Well, who's thinking that? Right? That's the observer. Oh boy, I shouldn't have said that. Who's thinking that, right? The observer, that part of you that's bigger than you, that's going like, oh, you're gonna have to pay for that later, right? So you find the answers from that part of you, and it's hard to hear that part of you when you're banging around being a wacko. So what I like to do is I like to get quiet as often as I can. And there are plenty of ways you could do this. Pick the one you like, right? There's meditating, there's going for a walk. I also talk out loud to myself. These are all the ones I do. People like to do yoga or workout, right? Anything where even if you're still moving your body, at least you're quieting your mind, you know? So it could be listening to music, it could be petting your dog or your cat or something like that. So if I'm in an okay mood and I just want to get quiet so that I can latch onto that observer part of me and get some answers to questions that I'm having, or just become a little bit more self-aware so I can figure out the next step in this thing that I'm working on, those are some of the things that I'll try. Now, sometimes, and I'm sure you know this, sometimes those things don't work. Sometimes you're like, I'm going to meditate because I feel like crap right now. And you're sitting there meditating, and 20 minutes later, you're like, this isn't working. I can't connect to anything. I can't figure any of this out. And I'll tell you something that I do that helps me when I feel like this. I watch Netflix. I put on an action movie or a mafia movie, like Goodfellas or something like that, right? But it's something where like people are like shooting people and stuff. To me, that's just like, I see the action and it's like, I'm seeing people do the things that I wish I could do because I can't go out and start hitting somebody. I don't really feel like going to jail or anything like that. So, but I can watch a movie where someone's doing it and I can kind of get that release a little bit that way. And then usually by the end of that or a couple of days of that, I feel better. And that's when I can go back to meditating or something like that. So sometimes, meditating doesn't work for me because I'm just way too revved up, or I'm way too low vibration or something like that. And I can't catch that groove. So then I just have to just shut it all down, and I'll just veg out in front of the television or something and watch something that just mind numbing, right? Something I don't even have to think about. So that's something that helps me. Now, here's the trick to all of this. The trick to all of this is whatever you choose. If you catch yourself and you're asking if it's important, or if you're going to meditate, or if you're going to do yoga, or if you're going to remember to do the mafia movie trick, or whatever works for you, you have to be persistent at it. This takes persistence and consistency, meaning you can't do it for a week and then be like, I'm aware, I am a guru, I am, the Dalai Lama, and I'm awesome, and then not do it again, because you just lose it. It's a muscle, and it needs to be worked, and it needs practice, and you just need to keep going. It requires your attention. So my thought to you would be, make yourself important enough to pay attention to give yourself the gift of your attention so that you can fulfill yourself a little bit more. And that is my spiel for today on self-awareness. And I will now go to the comments. Thanks for hanging with me. Hope you like the way I talk really fast, because I think I'm probably never going to slow down. Something about this like gets my adrenaline going, and I'm raring to go. And then I'll go take a nap or something. So Becky is here. The sound is on. Thank you. And Becky says, title somethings. Oh, little somethings. I'm sorry. My screen is about 3 or 4 feet away, so sometimes things are a little, I see the wrong letters. Becky says, as in the universe is a whole, and we are an extension on the universe. We are little somethings. Yes, right. Perfect. Thank you. Context, right? I didn't know what little somethings meant. Hashtag little somethings. I like that. Yeah, that's cool, right? Yes, as in the universe is the whole, and we are an extension of the universe. We are the little somethings. I like that a lot. Thank you that's a cool explanation of that. Jennifer says, I used to do that as far as not working on staying awake. I was born awakened. Oh, cool. Then throughout life, I kept switching between staying awake and being in a slumber. I am awake enough this time to realize this so I can do something about it. That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? We have an awakening, or we wake up, or you were born awake, or something like that. But it's a muscle, because if you don't work on it, then you could just walk around being like, oh, I'm awake, but you're not actually doing anything to pay attention to your own life, and you're missing all the signs. You just have this knowledge of how the universe works on a theoretical level, but you're not actually living it. So in order to live it and reap the benefits of this knowledge that we have as awakened people, we have to work it. Oh, I know how to work out. I can show you how to do curls and bench presses and push-ups and all those things. I know how to do it. I must have a perfect body. It doesn't work that way. You have to actually, go to the gym and do it. Damn. All right. And Jennifer says, I love your energy. Thank you very much. I'm going to tell you guys a secret. I get the energy from this. One of the things that I love about running a group and doing these daily lives is when there's back and forth like this. So, because I'll do videos sometimes where it's just me talking to the camera, and I'll edit it and I'll post it and stuff. And those are fun. They come out a little different. I can do more deliberate things. Sometimes if I say something funny or humorous or whatever, doing it this way, it's just an accident. Like I don't have this scripted or planned out. I have some notes here of the things I want to get to, so I don't forget my points and the order of them, but I don't have this scripted or anything like that. But if I do it a scripted video, it's a completely different energy for me, and I don't talk this fast, but there's just an energy to this that I love. I feed off of what I get back from you. That's why I ask for the comments and the stuff like that. So I thank you all for that. And that was the last comment. So Jennifer, you get today's booby prize for the final comment. And if there's no more comments, then I'll call it a day. And thanks very much for your time. And there's another one. Becky, you stole the booby prize. Deliberate things. Excuse me. Deliberate things with a message. Good. What did I say? I don't remember. Okay. I really should listen to myself when I speak, because then when I read your comments, I would know what you're talking about, because you're talking about what I was just talking about, and I don't remember what I said. But that's not your fault. That's mine. But thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to split. It's Friday, and it's late, so I hope you have a good weekend. I will be live tomorrow. And I'm working on some things for us to do next week and make this a lot of fun. And I'm going to start doing the prompts where you guys can go live in the group. So I would get ready for that. That's coming next week. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks.